Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We're speaking from Sri Caitanya Caritamrita Adi-Lila, chapter 5, text 36. This chapter we are hearing we are trying to understand the position of Lord Nityananda, who is Balaram himself. Yad arinam priya nam cha prapyam ekam ivoditam tad brahma krishnayor aikayat kiranarkopam ma jusoho. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, where it has been stated that the Lord's enemies and devotees attain the same destination. This refers to the ultimate oneness of Brahman and Lord Krishna. This may be understood by the example of the sun and the sunshine, in which the Brahman is like the sunshine and Krishna himself is like the sun. Okay. This verse is from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1 to 278 of Srila Rupa Goswami, who further discusses the same topic in his Laghu Bhagavatamrita Purva 5.41. There he refers to the Vishnu Puran 4.15.1, where Maitreya Muni asked Parasara in regard to Jai and Vijay how it was that Hiranyakashipu next became Ravan and enjoyed more material happiness than the demigods, but did not attain salvation, although when he became Shishupal, quarreled with Krishna and was killed, he attained salvation and merged into the body of Lord Krishna. So we can see that how Rupa Goswami, when he is quoting, when he's referring, he's taking from the Puranas, from, that's how he's writing his Bhakti Shastras. He's specifically empowered by Lord Chaitanya to present devotional service to us so we can practically engage in devotional service. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he wrote that, and Srila Prabhupada compiled that for us in English called Nectar of Devotion. So Rupa Goswami is referring to Vishnu Puran, So that's why the Goswamis, they studied scrutinizingly all the scriptures, and they gave us the essence of all the scriptures. So now the question was raised where Maitreya Muni is asking to Parasara Muni in Vishnu Puran that, when Ravan was killed, he didn't get salvation, but when Shishupal was killed, he got salvation. What happened? How was it? Although it's the same person, same personality, they are coming as Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Ravan, Kumbhakaran, Shinshupala, and Dandavakar. They're the same Jai Vijay. Parasara replied that Hiranyakashipu failed to recognize Lord Nrsimhadev as Lord Vishnu. He thought that Nrsimhadev was some living entity who had acquired such opulence by various pious activities. Being overcome by the mode of passion, he considered Lord Nrsimhadev an ordinary living entity, not understanding his form. Nevertheless, because Hiranyakashipu was killed by the hands of Lord Nrsimhadev in his next life, he became Ravan and had proprietorship of unlimited opulence. As Ravan, with unlimited material enjoyment, he could not accept Lord Rama as the personality of Godhead. Therefore, even though he was killed by Rama, he did not attain Sayujya or oneness with the body of the Lord. In his Ravan body, he was too much attracted to Rama's wife Janaki, and because of that attraction, he was able to see Lord Rama. But instead of accepting Lord Rama as an incarnation of Vishnu, Ravan thought him an ordinary living being. So what is happening? Hiranyakashipu, he's thinking Lord Nrsimhadev is not the Lord. He's thinking he's some living entity who did some meditation and got some power, and that's why he looks like this. And so even when Hiranyakashipu is killed by Lord Nrsimhadev, he did not get liberation. He took another birth as Ravan. And because he's killed by the Lord himself, when he was born as Ravan, he had so much opulence. It's so much opulence, so much power. And again, when he's seeing Lord Ramachandra, he's not understanding that this Lord Ramachandra is Lord Vishnu himself. He's not understanding that this is an incarnation of the Lord. He's thinking Lord Ramachandra is just an ordinary man. You know, Ravan has so much lust in his heart, so much desire in his heart. He's not able to understand that Lord Ram is the supreme person. And that's the reason he again does not get this liberation. He again comes as Shishupal. So when killed by the hands of Ram, therefore, he got the privilege of taking birth as Shishupal, who had such immense opulence that he could think himself a competitor to Krishna. Although Shishupal was always envious of Krishna, he frequently uttered the name of Krishna and always thought of the beautiful features of Krishna. Thus, by constantly thinking and chanting of Krishna, even unfavorably, he was cleansed of the contamination of his sinful activities. When Shishupal was killed by the Sudarshan Chakra of Krishna as an enemy, his constant remembrance of Krishna dissolved the reactions of his vices, and he attained salvation by becoming one with the body of the Lord. So it's the same person. Hiranyakashipu and Ravan and Shishupal, the soul is the same. They're just coming at different time in different bodies. And then now we are seeing what's happening. Shishupal, because he was killed by Lord Ramachandra himself in his previous life, he is born as Shishupal. And as Shishupal, his opulence is as much as Krishna, that he has so much opulence that he can consider that Krishna is his rival or his equal, like that. You know, that's why he is so envious, because he has similar opulence. So that's very great opulence. And then what is he? He's always thinking of Krishna, although enviously, out of envy. He doesn't like Krishna, but he's always thinking of Krishna. He's always remembering Krishna. You know, when we're thinking of someone, automatically their face will come in front of us. And he's always speaking of Krishna in a bad way. But what's happening? Because he is thinking of Krishna, he's remembering how Krishna looks, he's speaking the name Krishna. What's happening is that his sins are being washed off. His sins are being washed off. Krishna is not considering, oh, you're remembering me in envy. No, he is so kind. Krishna is so merciful. You know, in whatever way we are saying, he's washing off the sins. And so that's the reason when Shishupal was killed, he entered inside the body of Krishna. He got Sayujya Mukti, means he entered into the Brahman effulgence, into the Brahma Jyoti. And that's how we say that even demons get liberation when they are killed by Krishna. So imagine the destination of the devotees who love Krishna, who have that relationship with Krishna. They must be feeling so much happiness, so much pleasure. From this incident, one can understand that even a person who thinks of Krishna as an enemy and is killed by him may be liberated by becoming one with the body of Krishna. What then must be the destination of devotees who always think favorably of Krishna as their master or friend? These devotees must attain a situation better than Brahmaloka, the impersonal bodily effulgence of Krishna. Devotees cannot be situated in the impersonal Brahman effulgence, into which impersonal is desire to merge. Devotees are placed in Vaikuntha Loka or Krishna Loka. So just by becoming an enemy of Krishna, Shishupal became, he got this, he could enter into the Brahman effulgence. He entered the Brahma Jyoti. Then the consideration is, wow, Shishupal was so envious of Krishna. Just by thinking of Krishna in envy, he got liberation into the Brahma Jyoti. What about the devotees who are always thinking of Krishna in love? What destination would they be getting? They would for sure get a higher destination than just the Brahma Jyoti. Where do they go? Oh, they're going to the Krishna Loka planet or the Vaikuntha planets, where the situation is much better than the situation in the Brahma Jyoti. This discussion between Maitreya Muni and Parasara Muni centered on whether devotees come down into the material world in every millennium, like Jaya and Vijaya, who were cursed by the Kumaras to that effect. In the course of these instructions to Maitreya about Hiranyakashipu, Ravan, and Shishupal, Parasara did not say that these demons were formerly Jaya and Vijaya. He simply described the transmigration through 3 lives. It is not necessary for the Vaikuntha associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to come to take the roles of his enemies in all the millenniums in which he appears. The fall down of Jaya and Vijaya occurred in a particular millennium. Jaya and Vijaya do not come down in every millennium to act as demons. To think that some associates of the Lord fall down from Vaikuntha in every millennium to become demons is totally incorrect. Okay, so then now what is the point being said is, we can relate to it because recently we have been hearing this in Bhagavatam. We have been reading that how Jaya Vijaya were cursed by the 4 Kumaras. And then because of the curse, they came down as demons in the 3 lives, as Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Ravan, and Kumbhakaran, and Shishupal, and Dandavakar. So then that also because the Lord had a desire to fight. So now what is the consideration? Now, is it that every time Jaya Vijaya are coming to become demons? Because the Lord keeps coming millennium after millennium, yuge yuge, he says, Sambhavami yuge yuge. He comes in different incarnations, or he himself, he comes to annihilate the miscreants and to protect the pious. So does it mean that Jaya Vijaya are coming in every millennium? No, they don't. They came down in this millennium. And we cannot say that the associates of the Lord are coming from Vaikuntha in every millennium to fight with him as demons. No, this time it happened. This time it happened, but it does not happen necessarily every time. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So then this continues that how the Lord also has the desire to fight. And there are these 3 paragraphs more. But we'll stop here and we'll continue with this purport tomorrow. Yeah. So Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.